Hello. Sorry, I just always wanted to start a video that way. During the 2020-2021 choir season here at Church of the Ascension, there will be several ways to participate. I'm hoping there can be some in-person rehearsals, outside, masked, and socially distanced, for sections or other smaller choir groups. I'm also working on putting together some online music lessons and rehearsals. One of the ways that you'll be able to participate will be as part of a virtual choir. A virtual choir is basically what it sounds like, a group of singers whose voices are blended together to create a choir, but it's done virtually through the use of recorded audio or video, rather than in person. It's obviously not the same thing as singing together, and it never will be, frankly, but when it's done right, the end result can be pretty convincing. More than that, it can be a blessing to the church and a joy for those who participate. There are two primary challenges with being part of a virtual choir. The first is, as I already said, that it's not the same thing as singing together. The joy of coming together to sing simply isn't there, and it can be really difficult to hear your part and how it fits in with the other parts. Now, I'll do everything I can to minimize these challenges, but I can't completely remove them. Basically, singing in a virtual choir is going to be tricky, especially the first time you do it. The other challenge is a technological one. Making a video of yourself singing along with a recording can be tricky, and it requires a certain grasp of the technology. And that's what this video is about. My goal with this video is that after you watch it, you'll have a grasp of how to handle the technology. It's also worth saying that this video is about how to participate in a virtual choir here at Ascension. If you're trying to be a part of another virtual choir, make sure you follow their suggestions because they may be different than mine. I also want to speak really quickly to the issue of joy. Is doing a virtual choir the same as singing together? Like I said, it's not, and it won't be. But is there joy in it? Is there the short answer is, I think there is. I think there's joy in serving the church, and I think there's joy in hearing our voices come together, even though it is different than usual. This first step is the easiest. Whenever there's going to be a virtual choir project, I will send you the link to a YouTube video. Just watch it. Most of them will include most, if not all of them, will include the parts being sung by the section leaders in the choir. It'll also include me, probably include me conducting. Some of these videos may be a little bit different, but regardless, there's going to be something there to help you follow what's going on. So, like I said, find the video, watch it. That was easy. After you watch the video, the next step is to make a video of yourself singing. And one way to do this is to use a computer. Your computer will need to have a camera or webcam of some sort, and it will also need software to record a video. Now this may sound complicated, but it's actually not. Chances are, if your computer has a camera, it already comes with this type of software. If you have a Mac, you can use Photo Booth or iMovie. If you have a PC, I think there's something you can use in the Photos app. I'm a Mac user myself, so forgive me if I'm not exactly correct here. Then, all you have to do is play the YouTube video in one window on your screen and record yourself singing in another. If you can do it this way, it will probably be the easiest approach. If you can't use a computer to play the YouTube video and make your own video, you'll want to use two devices. Most computers, phones, or tablets will work. Think of it this way. You'll need to do two things at once. Play the YouTube video and make a video of yourself singing. All you have to do is choose which device will work best for each task. Maybe you want to watch the video on a computer and record yourself on your phone, or watch the video on your phone and record yourself on a tablet. The important thing is, if you're using a phone or tablet, don't try to do both tasks with the same device. I'm not saying that it won't work, but the likelihood of something going wrong is very high. The other thing to keep in mind is this. Whatever device you're using to record yourself needs to be kept as still as possible. If you're using your phone, please consider using a tripod or a stand of some sort. Or you can prop up the phone against a stack of books. Whatever you do, please don't just hold it in front of your face and hope for the best. We want to lead people in worship, not give them motion sickness. Before you make the video, please take 5 minutes or so to think about the lighting. One thing you could do is take a short video of yourself and see how it looks. If it's too dark, try turning on a light or adding a lamp. If it's too bright or washed out, try turning off a light or two. If it's grainy or blurry, you should probably add a light. And you also want to try to avoid having a bright flare behind you. Some fluorescent lamps can do that, and it can be really distracting. And if you just can't get the lighting right, you may want to record somewhere else. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want a clear picture of everyone's face. The next step is to get your headphones. Now, this is one of the things that people find the most frustrating about these virtual choir things, but it's also one of the most important. Please use headphones or earbuds. Now, some people prefer to just sing with one headphone on, and that's fine too. Let me tell you why this is so important. When you make this recording, we want to make sure it only has your voice on it. If you're just playing the track in the room and you hit record, we're going to get your voice and the track that you're singing with. That's going to make it really hard to get a good mix, and it's going to make everything sound really garbled. So the important thing is that the recording you make just has your voice on it. And listening with headphones will make sure this is the case. One thing I almost forgot to mention about actually making the video. Every video will have a count off, and I will ask you to say part of that count off with me. If the count off is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, I'll ask you to say the 1, 2, 3 at the end. That's actually really helpful for lining up all the videos. Actually saves a lot of time. So yeah, please do that. Thanks. I hate to admit it, but there's a very good chance you will not like the sound of your own voice when you hear it by itself. You'll notice every imperfection, every voice crack, every slight pitch waver, everything that you wish wasn't there. You'll think the solution is to just keep trying to do it again and again and again until it's perfect. Several hours or days later, you're exhausted, you have a sore throat, and your video just keeps sounding worse. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Go easy on yourself. The goal isn't to be perfect. Think about it. If your voice isn't perfect when you're singing by yourself, it's not perfect when you're singing with the choir either. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, just to make a point. When we sing together as a choir, all of our imperfect voices come together, and the end result is beautiful. That's what happens when we sing together in person. And the same thing will happen when we sing together virtually. Trust me. My suggestion is this. Don't do more than 2 or 3 takes. Sing it once through to get comfortable with the video. Think of it as a rough draft. Then do it again to really sing it. If you're not happy with that take, try again. And unless that take really crashes and burns, call it a day. When it comes to pre-recording music for our worship services, I really think we need to work and pray against the desire to be perfect. When we sing together in church, we don't get to do multiple takes. We sing it once and that's it. And that's fine. The goal isn't to sound like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, it's to sound like our choir. And I really believe that 2 or 3 takes will be the best way of capturing our voices as they really are. So like I said, go easy on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, for most of our email correspondence, I would prefer that you use my church email address. That's chris.massa@ascensionpittsburgh.org. But for these projects, due to the size of video files, please use my personal email address, chris.massa untitled.chapter@gmail.com. You can also use Google Drive or Dropbox to send the file if you prefer, and again, use my Gmail address. Another approach is to use WeTransfer.com, which is both very easy and free. However you decide to send the video, please send it to me, and I'll do my best to send an email confirmation letting you know that I got it. Okay, let's review. Step 1, watch the video. Step 2, choose your method. Either use your computer to watch the video and make your own video, or use 2 devices. 3, think about the lighting. 4, use headphones or earbuds. 5, and this is the really important one, go easy on yourself. And 6, send it. I want to say something here, and I'm totally off script. This is not how I thought my first year as choir director would go. I mean, I was looking forward to having rehearsals and, singing at church and doing everything we've usually done. I never thought that my first official act as choir director would be suspending rehearsals. But we're going to get through this, okay? I know this is difficult. I know it's weird. And I know, as much as a virtual choir may have its, fun aspects to it or whatever, it's not the same thing. But we are going to get through this. God is good. He really is. And, we don't know how this is going to turn out, but He does. Look, I love all of you so much. I'm praying for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you, whether it's in person or, virtually or whatever. Okay? Please let me know if there's any way that I can be praying for you. And I'll see you soon. God bless.